Hello and welcome. We're at the track covering the Sport of Kings coming up. TNT's 2016 Horse of the Year makes a winning return after a 6-month layoff. Apprentice Cayman McGregor survives a steward's inquiry to record his first win at Caymanas Park in Jamaica. And we also have action from the Breeders' Cup Championships at Churchill Downs in Kentucky. But first, we rock up at Santa Rosa Park in TNT for the latest edition of the Arima Race Club's Friday Lime.
There were 6 starters in the 2-year-old and over feature. Among the entries, the impressive filly Pause for a Course, favourite at 3-2. Horse number 2 Whisper Light with jockey Dylan Kellowan was sent off at 4-1. Keep an eye out for the younger of the Kellowan brothers, Keron, aboard TNT's 2016 Horse of the Year. This one's for run at 5-2. Here's Nick Chady with the call.
And they're off. Pause for a Course, a beat slow. Route of Jesse, this one's for on, and Whisper Light shared the early lead. Here's Rocket Wheels, here's Pause for a Course now, and Buffalo Soldier out-kicked. Up the backstretch they go, 1100 to run, Whisper Light a half a length, Pause for a Course a half a length, this one's for on a half a length, Route of Jesse by a neck. Rocket Wheels now running in 5th and 2.5 from the front, just over a half mile to go, Buffalo Soldier well out-kicked. A half mile left to run, Pause for a Course pulls her way to the front. Opens up by 3/4 of a length here to Whisper Light, and this one's for run right there toward the outside. Route of Jesse, Rocket Wheels are next. And a long, long way back to Buffalo Soldier. Around the turn they go, 5/16 south they are. Pause for a Course shows the way here by a long neck, but here's this one's for run, ratcheting up speed on the outside, 1/4 mile left to run. Rocket Wheels has the rail, Whisper Light is next, Route of Jesse, and Buffalo Soldier. This one's for run, strikes the front. This one's for run in front here to Pause for a Course. Rocket Wheels trying to come up the inside, Whisper Light trying to come back, Route of Jesse. They come through the final 150. This one's for run. This one's for run as Whisper Light rolls into second and Pause for a Course. This one's for run and Karen Kellowan to take it.
So a 5th straight win for 2016 Horse of the Year, this one's for run. Despite not competing since April, the Canadian bred from the Great Friends stable was much too good, finishing ahead of Whisper Light and Pause for a Course.
Over at Caymanas Park, the Alti and Rita McKenzie Memorial Cup over a mile was the feature event. Brian Rickman is on commentary.
We're approaching the final 5, and it is Foot Soldier in a battle up front. Newton's First Law asked to join it. El Cliente hidden from view on the outside. These 3 in a very tight group as they head to the half mile. Buckaluk tracks them. Formal Justice races further back as the speed now begins to increase. Princess Scholar making ground on the outside. Buckaluk is there on the rail. Formal Justice is fading through the field, overtaken by a Major Force. Cup of Tea with those against the fence. Berlin races next, about to be caught by Ask About Me. Forget General Report going nowhere as the leaders are about to come into the lane. And it is Foot Soldier out in front at the top of it, 1/4 mile to run. Here now, asked to kick in on the outside is Newton's First Law charging up. Princess Caller left back in 3rd. Buckaluk and Major Force over against the rail, but Newton's First Law now takes that lead. Foot Soldier had to be switched suddenly. Major Force is on the rail. Princess Caller out wide in the red. Newton's First Law with the lead by 2 lengths inside the final 16th. Princess Caller trying to whittle away at it, but it is Newton's First Law and Cayman McGregor who take it by just over a length.
The connections of Newton's First Law were relieved after they survived a steward's inquiry. Cayman McGregor, a recent graduate of the Jockeys Training School, was able to secure his first ever career win at Caymanas Park, much to the delight of the owner of Newton's First Law.
I was a little bit worried, because there has been instances with, issues with myself and the stewards, actually, and I was thinking pretty much that may have an effect on the outcome, but it wasn't so today, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Still in Jamaica, there was glamour on display earlier this week at the launch of the Diamond Mile in Kingston.
Known as the richest thoroughbred race day in the English-speaking Caribbean, the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission Diamond Mile is set for Caymanas Park on Saturday, December 1. The event, to be contested by native-bred and imported 3-year-olds and upwards, will carry an impressive purse of approximately 14 million Jamaican dollars, or about $115,000 US. 2 added components of this year's event will be the Diamond Mile Scholarship and the Diamond Mile Award of Excellence.
This year, the Diamond Mile will provide a scholarship for a resident of the community surrounding Caymanas Park to be part of the next group of candidates attending the Jamaica Racing Commission's Jockey School. The other initiative is the Diamond Mile Award for Excellence. This year we will present the first Diamond Mile Award for Excellence to an individual who has made a stellar contribution to the horse racing industry of the track.
Finally from Jamaica, the post position draw for the 40th running of the Super Stakes was held earlier this week. Reigning Horse of the Year She's a Man-Eater and her nemesis Will in Charge set for another blockbuster clash.
So a small but competitive field of 6 will line up for the 10-furlong contest. She's a Man-Eater, still smarting from 3 successive defeats to Will in Charge, will break from post position number 1. Also from the barn of champion trainer Wayne DaCosta will be Lotto Classic winner Drummer Boy. The impressive Big Daddy Cool is one of 2 entries to be saddled by trainer Anthony Baba Nunes. Big Daddy Cool will break from gate number 3. The Robert Pearson conditioned Will in Charge with wins over She's a Man-Eater in the Legal Light Trophy, Viceroy Trophy and the Gold Cup is expected to push the 4-year-old filly all the way for the purse valued at approximately $35,000 US.
We head up north now to Lexington, Kentucky, site of the 2018 renewal of the Breeders' Cup World Championships. 5-2 favorite Accelerate lived up to his billing and they delivered a rousing victory in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
And they're into the stretch, and it's Accelerate, and on the inside, Mendelssohn Thunder Snow, roaring up between those 2 as they arrive at the 8th pole. Then Yoshida Axelrod, Gunnavera's closing in late. It is Accelerate. He's coming down to the 16th pole in front. Thunder Snow on the inside is next. Then Mendelssohn, Gunnavera, and Yoshida on the far outside. They're coming to the wire, and Accelerate wins the Breeders' Cup Classic.
And finally, an update on the injuries sustained by Barbadian riding ace Patrick Bummel Husbands.
The 7-time Sovereign Award-winning jockey has been sidelined from racing after completing surgery on a broken pelvis. The 45-year-old suffered the injury after falling from Ely Inlet before the 5th race on Sunday at the Woodbine Racetrack in Canada. We at the Track and the SportsMax wish Patrick a speedy recovery.
We've been at the track covering the sport of kings. Remember, whatever you ride this week, ride with care.